So my name is Zoe Bellinger. I work for the Nottingham office. I specialise in the HR desk, covering a bit of talent as well. So experience-wise, I've got 3 years. Before I came to SF, that was a mix of I was in an agency before and I also worked internally. Initial reaction, obviously super pleased to be approached and the timing was right. I did think SF were probably more corporate than we actually are, and as soon as I kind of had that first conversation, I think that came to light pretty quickly that, you know, there are corporate recruiters out there, and I didn't feel that that was probably my vibe, and then that's kind of where the conversation went. I think the kind of support around me, the infrastructure around me to be able to do my job to the best ability is what stood out to me. Things like, you know, the kind of support around a great system, which sounds so simple, but it enables me to do my job more quickly, more efficiently every day. That just makes it easier as a recruiter. The hours that you put into the day on the phone to the candidates, the clients, that kind of piece in the background of making notes, having process is so important to me. I am very, I guess, process driven. Everything needs to be done in a certain kind of way for me, and the kind of infrastructure that was sold to me from day one had slotted right into kind of my, I guess, working style and what works for me. I did feel nervous to join SF. I think like anyone joining any new job, you are nervous. As soon as I started, the nerves were really, you know, quickly settled. I think that was mainly for me, and I say this to candidates now, is the gut feeling was right in terms of the kind of the team fit, who the business are, the values, you know, even kind of working style, you know, the kind of branding of SF, I think came to life from day one, and that is what gave me the comfort in that I knew I'd made the right decision in joining SF. In terms of, you know, if I felt I was a good fit, I think from, you know, the day one that I came into my first interview, I kind of saw that fit. The interview process was very informal. It was kind of, you know, chatting to a few different members of the team at SF, and that reassured me that I knew I would be a team fit. I'd like to think that I am definitely ambitious and kind of want to keep on growing within SF. I've been here over just over 1.5 years, I think now, and within that time, in my first full year, I was promoted to senior consultant, and I want to kind of keep climbing that ladder, not just in billings, but kind of what I can bring to the business from other points of view in terms of events, brand awareness, you know, team generation, you know, points of view. So yeah, I'd like to see that there is a clear kind of vision for my growth at SF. So I use my flexibility in a number of different ways, really. I think the main one that stands out for me is probably the kind of being able to go and walk my dog on my lunch break. It's little things, you know, being able to work at home, or if I have got an appointment after work, being able to go to that, then it doesn't matter. I know I put in the hours, my team, my manager, you know, the directors know that the hours are put in. I've never once been quizzed on, you know, how I use my flexibility, what I'm doing with my flexibility. It's more been around make sure you use your flexibility, because we all know as recruiters we pick up calls at 7, 8 o'clock at night, and that is the best way to do the job, to catch the candidates and clients that you want to be speaking to, giving them the availability that they need to speak throughout their working day. So to be able to take time back in a number of different ways that, you know, suits us as individuals is great. The biggest things that stick out to me is, I think, how kind of social we are. There's a lot, you know, this job can be extremely tiring, it's exhausting, it's challenging at the best of times, and recruitment is known as a roller coaster, and I think SF kind of, you're always going to be on that roller coaster, but when you're on a high, you know, you're really rewarded for that. That might be the champagne clubs, the gold clubs, even going out for a team lunch, you know, at the end of a month, end of a quarter, so that the kind of the reward, the recognition. And I think being able to have ideas and then be listened to has been huge for me. There's, you know, certain things that I've created, events that I've organised, which I think in other businesses, would my voice been heard? That would be probably my question, but I know that SF are very much behind me and open to my ideas all the time. So over my time here at SF, I've made a real contribution to some of the events that we've ran, mainly being HR focused, whether that's been around employment law, getting junior members of the HR community in and, you know, having short discussions and building their confidence. I'd like to think that, you know, recruitment is sometimes known for the cold calling and the sales techniques that are cold, and I think actually, you know, building a community is something that I'm really proud of, whether that be for the junior HR market, the senior HR market. That is something that's worked really well, and I know that is valued from, you know, from SF. So when I started at SF, the desk that I was doing, it did have someone on in the past. It's not completely, you know, fresh to the market, but it is a desk that's took some, you know, I knew when I joined that I was going to take some time to get it up and running and to where I wanted it to be. I think initially, absolutely petrifying, you know, to think that I'm successful, you know, as recruiters, as consultants, we are commission-based, and it's scary to think of not just, you know, that you're not performing, and it's not nice to not be performing, but the, you know, the financial impact on that. I think it shocked me how quickly I actually did to get up and running from, you know, the desk being new to the market, being new to the office. It all kind of fell into place, and I think that's from, you know, it's always going to be a percentage of how you apply yourself, but the kind of support that SF gave me from day one, a lot of detail, a lot of structure. I knew exactly what each day, each week looked like, and as soon as kind of them weeks started to pass, I saw the benefits within a good amount of time that I was quite shocked by.